children is not his.
No one saw this coming. What was supposed to be a quiet afternoon for Erika Kirk turned into the most chaotic, humiliating, emotionally devastating public collapse of her life. All because one man from her past stepped forward with a lawsuit that detonated the internet like a bomb. Her ex, the man she swore she cut out of her life forever, just sued her for full custody, claiming the children the world believed belonged to Charlie Kirk are actually his. But the real explosion didn't come from the lawsuit. It came from the DNA test. A DNA test that Erika fought to keep sealed. A DNA test she refused to comment on. A DNA test she insisted wasn't relevant. A DNA test she thought would never see the light of day. Until today. Because her ex didn't just file for custody, he filed proof. The documents leaked within seconds of the court submission, racing across the entire internet before Erika even realized what happened. And that's when the world saw it. 99.98% probability of paternity. The children weren't Charlie's. They never were. And now the man Erika desperately tried to erase from her story just forced himself back into the center of it. The moment the news broke, Erika was live on Instagram, trying to smile through a sponsored Q&A. But viewers watched the exact second she saw the headline appear on her screen. Her pupils widened, her jaw clenched, her breath stopped. Her phone slipped from her hand. And then she whispered, with her mic still on, "No, not him. Not now." The chat went feral. Who is she talking about? What DNA test? Why is her ex suing? Is this real? Where is Charlie's family? Erika tried to end the live stream, her hands shaking so violently she pressed the same button 3 times. But before she could shut it down completely, viewers heard her mutter, "He said he'd never do this. He promised me he'd disappear." Disappear? Promised? What was she hiding? Who exactly is this ex, and why was she so terrified that he resurfaced? Seconds later, paparazzi captured Erika sprinting out the back door of her home, shielding her face, shouting into her phone, "This wasn't supposed to come out. He told me it was handled." Handled. That single word rewired the entire scandal. Because this wasn't just a custody battle. This wasn't just a DNA test. This wasn't just a betrayal. This was a cover-up. A cover-up Erika fought desperately to protect. Even after Charlie's death. And now her ex is pulling the rug out from under her with a custody lawsuit so aggressive, so calculated, and so soaked in personal revenge that even legal experts are calling it the most shocking parental scandal of the year. But the twist? This ex didn't just file for custody. He's accusing Erika of committing paternity fraud, emotional manipulation, and knowingly misrepresenting the biological father for personal gain. And he claims he has proof. Erika is spiraling. Her team is silent. Charlie's family is furious. Candace is already teasing another leak. And the internet is consuming this story like fire spreading across dry forest. Because if everything her ex is saying is true, then Erika didn't just lie to the world. She lied to Charlie. She lied to his family. She lied to her children. She lied to everyone. And now the truth, the real truth, is out. And she can't run from it. Not anymore. To understand why this custody lawsuit has detonated into the biggest scandal of Erika Kirk's life, you have to go back. Far back. To a version of her she spent years burying. A version of her she refused to acknowledge in interviews, avoided in conversations, and erased from her carefully curated public persona. Because Erika's story didn't begin with Charlie. It began with him. The ex she now pretends never existed. Before the polished public image, before the conferences and brand partnerships, before the perfect Christian wife narrative the internet swallowed whole, Erika was part of a turbulent, chaotic, emotionally volatile relationship with a man whose influence on her never fully disappeared. And despite every effort she made to bury his existence, one truth always lingered like a ghost. He was the first person to truly know her. He was the first person she trusted. He was the first person she tried to escape. People close to her back then, the few who still remember her before the fame, recall that period of her life with tension in their voices. They say Erika was deeply attached to this ex, pulled into a cycle of dependency, guilt, affection, resentment, and fear that she tried desperately to break free from. One former friend described it perfectly. She loved him, and she hated him. She wanted out, but she kept going back. He had a kind of hold on her that didn't disappear just because she moved on. Another friend said, they were toxic together. He made her feel like she owed him everything. When she finally left, he told her she would never escape him. For years, Erika believed she did escape him. She built a new life. She married Charlie. She cleaned up her image. She constructed a carefully polished world without chaos, without scandal, without scars. But here's where the story turns dark. Even after Charlie, that ex never fully went away. There were messages she ignored, emails she deleted, old accounts she shut down, stories she refused to address even privately. One close associate from her early career revealed, she blocked him everywhere, but he always found a way to reach her. She didn't want Charlie to know. She said it would ruin everything she rebuilt. And this is where the past starts bleeding into the present. Because when Charlie proposed, Erika made one request that confused even her closest friends. She wanted the wedding to happen quickly, very quickly. People assumed she was excited, in love, eager to move forward. But someone else, someone who knew her before Charlie, offered a darker explanation. She was running. The wedding wasn't just about starting a new life. It was about sealing the old one so tight that he couldn't get in. For years, Erika hid every trace of her ex. She curated her photos, deleted old posts, shut down entire accounts, cut ties with anyone who knew her past, created a narrative that made it appear as though her life began when she met Charlie. Charlie, being who he was, kind, loyal, trusting, never questioned it. He believed her story. He believed the timeline. He believed the children were his. He never doubted their family. But the cracks began forming a long time ago. Little things. Suspicious things. Things that only make sense now that the DNA results are public. A relative of Charlie's noticed something once at a family gathering. Charlie mentioned how the timing didn't add up jokingly. Erika shut the entire conversation down. Not politely, forcefully. Another family member said, she would panic every time someone talked about genetic traits or family resemblance. It was strange, but the most telling moment came a year before Charlie died. Someone overheard Charlie on the phone sounding frustrated. "You're telling me the dates don't add up? What do you mean? No, that's impossible. She would have told me." Except she didn't. She told no one. Not Charlie, not his parents, not her own family, not the church, not her inner circle. And when the pregnancy happened, the one everyone assumed solidified her bond with Charlie, people close to her noticed a strange tension she couldn't hide. One friend admitted, she wasn't glowing or excited. She was stressed, like she was waiting for something to catch up to her. Now the internet knows why. She already knew who the biological father was. Because before she met Charlie, before she created the version of herself the world sees today, she had a final encounter with her ex, one she told no one about. And that is what the ex just revealed in his lawsuit. Not only is he claiming paternity, he's claiming Erika knew, covered it up, let Charlie raise children that weren't his, and used the Kirk name to shield herself from the consequences. But here's where things get even darker. The lawsuit doesn't just allege paternity. It alleges coercion. It alleges psychological manipulation. It alleges a long-term pattern of hiding the truth. And the documents suggest that someone else, someone close to Erika, knew the truth and helped her hide it. That person hasn't been named yet, but the ex claims he has messages, dates, receipts, and proof that Erika did everything she could to erase the connection between him and the children. What he didn't expect was that the DNA test he submitted would leak. He thought the paperwork would stay sealed. He thought the story would be behind closed doors. He thought Erika's reputation would not be destroyed publicly. But one reporter, one who has been following Erika's inconsistencies for years, leaked the documents within minutes of their arrival in court. And that's why Erika panicked live. That's why she dropped her phone. That's why she whispered, "Not him. Not now." That's why she nearly ran out of frame. Because after years of hiding him, after years of pretending he didn't exist, after years of misleading Charlie, the public, and her children, he came back. And this time, he isn't disappearing. He wants custody. He wants acknowledgement. He wants revenge. He wants public validation. But the darkest part? According to him, Erika made him a promise years ago. A promise that explains everything. She told me if I stayed quiet, I'd never have to fight for them. Except now, he's fighting, not because he wants to, but because he feels betrayed. And that betrayal is what's about to tear Erika's life apart completely. The custody lawsuit alone was enough to destroy Erika's public image. But what happened after the lawsuit? What happened behind closed doors as the documents spread across the internet? Is what truly sent her life spiraling into chaos. Because the ex didn't file the lawsuit quietly. He didn't file respectfully. He didn't file with caution. He filed it with rage, with intent. With the clear goal of tearing down everything Erika built after leaving him. The filing wasn't just a request for paternal rights. It was a weapon designed to expose every truth she buried under years of curated perfection. And the first major twist came not from the ex, but from someone inside Charlie's family. Within hours of the DNA leak going viral, Charlie's parents submitted their own petition to the court, publicly declaring, "We were deceived." Then another line, "We demand full disclosure from Erika." The internet erupted. Charlie's parents, who had publicly supported Erika through tragedy, who embraced her as family, who stood beside her at memorials and events, were done defending her. They felt betrayed. They felt manipulated. They felt humiliated. And now, they wanted answers. A close family friend revealed, they had doubts for months, but they trusted Erika. They believed she would never lie about something like this. The DNA test confirmed every fear they tried to ignore. And while the public was already stunned by their statement alone, the next twist came like a lightning strike. Charlie's family is now backing the ex's custody petition. Not because they trust him, not because they like him, but because they want the truth to come out, even if it destroys Erika's entire life. They want the court to force Erika to reveal what she hid from Charlie while he was alive. They want the timeline. They want the messages. They want the receipts. And now they have a legal path to demand them. But the greatest betrayal, the one that broke the internet, came from someone no one expected. A former friend of Erika stepped forward with screenshots. Screenshots that prove Erika didn't just hide the truth from Charlie. She lied to her own friends. The messages showed Erika panicking years ago, long before Charlie's death. "I need him to stop. I can't let him tell anyone. What if Charlie finds out? He'll leave me if he knows the truth. If the dates don't line up, I'm finished. I can't lose everything I rebuilt." Every line was a confession she never meant to become public. But the final screenshot was the one that shattered everything. "If he sues, I'll deny everything." No one will believe him. The internet immediately turned on her. "You lied to everyone. Charlie deserved better. You knew the whole time. This is fraud. You manipulated everyone." But here's where the story turns even darker. Because the ex didn't stop at screenshots. He didn't stop at DNA. He didn't stop at paternity accusations. His lawsuit contained multiple sealed exhibits. Exhibits that journalists are now reporting include old photos, private emails, Erika's handwritten notes, a voice recording, a timeline document, proof of a meeting between Erika and the ex. After the birth. Yes, after the birth. Meaning Erika kept a secret connection alive long into her marriage, something Charlie never suspected. A leak from a courthouse insider confirmed. One exhibit contains a time-stamped voicemail Erika left him. It contradicts several things she publicly claimed about her relationship with Charlie. That voicemail hasn't surfaced yet, but everyone knows it's coming. Candace Owens even tweeted, "I've heard the audio. You're not ready." And as the world waited for whatever Candace was preparing to drop next, Erika was falling apart behind the scenes. According to someone close to her, she's been crying uncontrollably, refusing to eat, shutting herself in her home, firing her entire PR team, begging lawyers to get the case sealed, terrified that more things will leak. But the most shocking detail came from an insider who spoke to Erika just hours after the lawsuit was filed. She said she feels like her past is hunting her. She said the one thing she feared the most is happening. That one thing is now clear. Her ex stepping out of the shadows and reclaiming the children she tried to hide from him. But why now? Why after all these years? Why after Charlie's death? Why after Erika rebuilt her life? The ex answered that question himself, in the lawsuit. The twist no one saw coming. She promised the children would always know I was their father. She broke that promise for personal gain. I will not let her erase me. Personal gain, meaning he is accusing Erika of using Charlie's name, his platform, his influence, his reputation, to cover a lie so massive it didn't just deceive a family. It rewrote reality. And here's the worst part. Journalists have discovered a gap in Erika's timeline, a gap that lines up perfectly with the window in which she was still seeing her ex. That gap is now being called the missing 3 weeks. No one knows what happened then. No one knows who she saw. No one knows what was discussed. But the ex claims those 3 weeks are the key to everything. His final statement to the court reads, "When the truth of those weeks comes out, people will understand why she's panicking. The internet is combusting. Because this isn't just a custody battle. This isn't just DNA. This isn't just Erika's past catching up to her. This is the first twist in a story that's about to get much darker. Erika wasn't just hiding the father of her children. She was hiding the reason she ran from him. And that part, the part buried under those missing 3 weeks, hasn't leaked. Yet. The insider ended today's update with one chilling message. The voicemail she left him will destroy everything. Part 4 reveals exactly what she said. When reporters announced that one of the sealed exhibits in the custody lawsuit was a voicemail Erika left her ex, the internet assumed it would be emotional. Maybe angry, maybe desperate, maybe confused. Nobody expected it to be this. Because the voicemail isn't just damaging, it isn't just incriminating, it isn't just embarrassing. It destroys the entire narrative Erika built around her life with Charlie. Tonight, the insider leaked the full audio. And within seconds, every platform crashed under the weight of the reaction. The voicemail begins with Erika breathing hard, like she had been crying for hours. She waits. She hesitates. Then she whispers, "Please don't do this. I told you I would fix everything. The world went silent. Fix everything? What needed fixing? What was she referring to? Why was she begging him not to do this even before the children were born? But the next lines blew the scandal open. I can't tell him the truth. If Charlie finds out, he'll walk away, and I need him. You know I do. That single confession reshaped the internet's entire understanding of her marriage. She didn't choose Charlie out of love. She chose Charlie out of desperation. She needed stability. She needed a new image. She needed a clean break from the chaos of her past. And Charlie, kind, trusting, devoted, became the perfect escape. But then she said something darker. Something that made creators pause their live streams mid-sentence. You said you'd disappear. That was our agreement. You promised me you'd stay out of this as long as I played my part. Agreement, promise, deal. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a secret pact between Erika and her ex. And the world immediately began asking, what part did she play? What did she promise him? Why did he agree to disappear? But the voicemail wasn't finished. Erika's voice cracked, a sound so raw it didn't match the polished woman she became years later. If anyone finds out you're the father, everything falls apart. Charlie's career, my reputation, the entire image we're building, everything collapses. I can't lose that, not again. Everything falls apart. Everything collapses. That line revealed the truth behind Erika's pristine public persona. Her marriage was built on a lie so massive that even she believed the truth would ruin them both. But then came the twist that sent shockwaves through every corner of the internet. Her ex interrupted her. Yes, the voicemail captured his voice too. And what he said rewired the entire narrative. You owe me more than this, Erika. Don't make me remind you what happened last time. Every creator froze. Every reaction channel went silent. Every viewer felt the temperature drop. Because this wasn't the tone of a co-parent. This wasn't the tone of a bitter ex. This wasn't even the tone of a manipulator. This was the tone of someone who had power over her life, over her secrets, over her decisions. Don't make me remind you what happened last time. Last time? What? What happened? Why does she owe him? What did he do? What did she do? Who else was involved? But Erika's response was even more disturbing. I didn't mean for that to happen. I didn't know he would. The voicemail cut off suddenly, like she stopped herself mid-confession. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't clarify what she didn't mean. She didn't explain what he would do. But one thing is certain. That unfinished sentence implies someone was hurt, or worse, because of Erika and her ex's past. The internet immediately went into detective mode. What did Erika do? Who was he? What last time is she referring to? Was there another person involved? Did something happen years before Charlie? But the voicemail still wasn't over. After a long silence, Erika whispered the final line. If you take them from me, everything I built dies with them. That line broke people, because it revealed what Erika valued most. Not the truth, not Charlie's legacy, not family unity, not closure, but her image, her brand, her platform, her identity as the ideal conservative mother figure. Without the children, that narrative collapses completely. And now her ex has the DNA test, the receipts, the messages, the truth she fought so hard to bury. But the twist escalates further. After the voicemail leaked, Charlie's family made a second public statement. We now believe Charlie questioned things he was never meant to discover. We demand the investigation into his death be reopened. That statement broke the internet again, because suddenly this doesn't feel like just a paternity scandal. It feels like a chain of lies so deep that even Charlie didn't realize how dangerous the truth really was. And the biggest twist? The insider dropped one final message at the bottom of the leak. The voicemail wasn't the only recording Erika left him. The next one explains the missing 3 weeks. And once you hear it, you'll understand why her ex waited until now. The cliffhanger hit like a hammer. Why did he wait? Why strike after Charlie's death? What does he gain by exposing her now? What happened during those missing 3 weeks? And what did Erika confess in the second recording? The world is bracing for impact, because if the first voicemail was this devastating, the next one will destroy everything she has left. The internet had already been shaking under the weight of the DNA leak. But when the voicemail dropped, everything ruptured. Every platform, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, went from loud to feral. This wasn't outrage. This wasn't confusion. This was a full-scale public revolt against Erika Kirk. Because the voicemail didn't just expose a lie. It exposed a pattern of manipulation, a pattern of secrecy, a pattern of psychological entanglement with a man she swore was out of her life. But now the public realizes he was never out. He was in the shadows the entire time. And the world is demanding to know. Why did Erika choose Charlie when she was still tethered to her ex? Why did she lie about paternity? What happened in the missing 3 weeks? And what exactly did she mean by, "I didn't know he would..." The first explosion came from Charlie's supporters, then his family, then her own fan base, then influencers, then political commentators, then legal analysts, then celebrities. Everyone chose sides. Everyone sharpened their tone. Everyone felt betrayed. Her Instagram comments were flooded within minutes. You lied to Charlie. You used him for a narrative. You're not the victim. You built a life off a man who didn't even know the truth. You owe the Kirk family everything. What agreement did you have with your ex? What happened last time? Release the second voicemail now. Every comment section looked like a battlefield. Some users defended her, claiming trauma, manipulation, survival tactics. But they were drowned out completely by the fury ripping through the internet. Creators began stitching the voicemail with clips of Erika and Charlie together, highlighting uncomfortable truths. Her body language. Her panic when people mentioned timelines. Her refusal to take DNA questions. Her nervous reaction during pregnancy discussions. Her insistence on privacy during key periods. The public began calling her biggest interviews performances. But the reactions didn't stop there. The political sphere detonated next. Prominent commentators said, "This isn't about the children. This is about years of deception." Charlie's image was used as a shield. She turned him into a prop in her escape plan. The voicemail changes everything. One commentator said flatly, "I believe Charlie would still be alive if he knew the truth." That statement alone triggered a tidal wave of emotional responses. Some cried, some cursed, some argued, some began demanding a criminal investigation. Then came the statement from Charlie's parents, even harsher this time. "We feel manipulated. We feel betrayed. Our son trusted her. We want the second voicemail released." That single sentence became the #1 trending phrase worldwide. Release the second voicemail. But the biggest eruption came when one of Charlie's closest friends went live on TikTok, tears running down his face saying, Charlie deserved honesty. He deserved a partner who trusted him. He deserved a truth he never got. How dare she? Within seconds, millions were screen recording it. But then came the celebrity reactions, and that's when the scandal went nuclear. A well-known conservative figure tweeted, "This is the worst betrayal I've seen. Paternity fraud is abuse." Another celebrity posted, "That voicemail is emotional manipulation at its finest." Erika wasn't escaping her ex. She was negotiating with him. But the most shocking reaction came from an actress who once worked alongside Erika in charity circles. We all knew something was off. She lived in constant panic. I thought it was grief. Now I realize it was guilt. TikTok detectives went wild. A psychologist reacted to the voicemail saying, "This wasn't a simple lie. This was a long-term survival strategy rooted in fear, power dynamics, and emotional codependency." But then came a twist inside the reactions. A prominent legal analyst appeared on livestream and said, "If the ex has 2 recordings and the DNA test, Erika is in serious legal danger. She could face fraud, false representation, emotional damages, and possibly custodial interference." People lost their minds because suddenly, this wasn't only emotional drama. This was criminal territory. And it didn't stop there. A courthouse insider leaked another detail. The judge has already requested the sealed exhibits be expanded. This case is bigger than paternity. Bigger than paternity? The internet exploded again. What was in those exhibits? What else did the ex submit? What did Erika hide that goes beyond DNA? Is this connected to the missing 3 weeks? People began posting timelines and conspiracy boards trying to predict what the second voicemail contains. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared anyone for the next wave of reactions. Erika's own team began quitting. Her PR rep resigned. Her social media manager removed her from their bio. Her former assistant posted, "I stood by Erika for years. I can't stand by this." Fans immediately assumed the assistant knew the truth. But then she posted a second line. "You don't know half of it." And that sentence, that tiny sentence, ignited the internet into a frenzy. Because everyone now realizes, this scandal hasn't peaked. It's building. Then came the final reaction of the night. The one that flipped the narrative again. A former friend of Erika's ex posted, "He didn't sue for money. He didn't sue for fame. He sued because Erika broke a promise that was supposed to protect someone." Protect who? Protect what? Protect why? The internet spiraled into chaos. Comments flooded with, "Who was Erika protecting? What promise did she break? What happened last time? What's in the second voicemail? What happened during the missing 3 weeks? Who else was involved?" And then, at the peak of global hysteria, the insider returned, after hours of silence, leaving only one message. The second voicemail explains everything. Part 6 will expose the missing 3 weeks. No one is ready for what she did. The world froze. What she did. Not what her ex did. Not what the system did. Not what circumstances did. What she did. Meaning the darkest twist hasn't even dropped yet. Everything so far. The DNA test, the custody suit, the voicemail, the breakdown, the lies, was only the beginning. The insider promised the second voicemail would explain everything. No one believed it could be worse than the first. They were wrong. Because the first voicemail exposed Erika's lies. But the second voicemail exposes her choices. Choices that rewrote her entire life. Choices that hurt people she claimed to love. Choices that now threaten to destroy her completely. Before the voicemail leaked, the insider posted one warning. The missing 3 weeks are the reason she's terrified of her ex. Not because he hurt her, but because of what they did together. The world went silent. Together. Not what he did. Not what she did. What they did together. But then, after hours of panic, the second voicemail finally dropped. It didn't begin with Erika crying. It began with her laughing. Not a joyful laugh. Not a carefree laugh. A broken, exhausted laugh. The kind someone uses when they know there's no turning back. Then she said the line that split the internet. I can't believe we pulled it off. Millions of viewers froze. Pulled what off? What did she and her ex do? What happened in those missing 3 weeks? The voicemail continued. No one suspects anything. Charlie thinks everything is normal. Your plan actually worked. The world detonated. Your plan worked. Charlie thinks everything is normal. Suddenly, the missing 3 weeks weren't a blank spot of confusion. They were a conspiracy window, a period of planning, deception, coordination between Erika and her ex. But the voicemail grew darker. Erika whispered, I don't know how long I can lie to him. He keeps asking questions. He keeps saying he wants to understand. I feel sick every time he looks at me. That confession cracked through every social media feed. She wasn't conflicted about the affair. She wasn't conflicted about the timing. She was conflicted about the lie she and her ex built together. And then came the sentence that made legal experts choke. If he ever finds out, we're both going to prison. Prison. Not counseling. Not therapy. Not marriage trouble. Prison. Influencers started screaming on live streams. Comment sections exploded. What crime did they commit? What did she do? The missing 3 weeks weren't about babies. They were about covering up a crime. Is this why she needed Charlie? But the voicemail was far from over. Her ex's voice entered, calm, arrogant, smug. He won't find out. He believes everything you say. Just keep smiling. The world collectively gagged. Then he added, You built the perfect cover. Your new life, your new husband, your new reputation. Nobody will ever trace anything back to us. Trace what? What exactly were Erika and her ex hiding? The tension peaked when Erika whispered, But what about the incident? Someone could talk. Someone could connect it to us. The internet erupted again. Incident. Someone could talk. This wasn't about paternity anymore. This wasn't about broken trust. This wasn't about emotional betrayal. This was about an event. A major event. A secret event. Something illegal. Something dangerous. Something that forced Erika and her ex into a pact they could never break. Her ex replied, No one knows she was with us. No one knows she saw anything. And she's not coming back. The world collectively screamed. She. The first voicemail hinted at the first one. Now the second voicemail confirmed it. The incident involved another woman. A woman who disappeared. A woman Erika knew. A woman connected to both of them. People instantly realized this ties back to LW. The woman who disappeared. The woman Erika allegedly tried to help. The woman who trusted her. The woman whose absence haunted Erika for years. And now the twisted truth emerges. Erika wasn't just a bystander. She was there. She witnessed something dark, something criminal, something worth destroying her entire future to hide. But the voicemail still wasn't finished. Erika whispered the most haunting line yet. I dream about her. I see her face every time I lie to Charlie. We should have helped her, not... The world held its breath. Not what? Not what? The voicemail glitched. A data corruption error. The file skipped. The most important sentence. The sentence that explains everything was cut. But the ex responded, What's done is done. You wanted out. I gave you a way out. Now you give me what I want, and we both stay free. Free. That one word destroyed the internet again. Free from what? From charges? From exposure? From guilt? Then Erika delivered the final blow. I'll hold up my end, but if anyone ever finds out what we did, I'm finished. The voicemail ended. Millions screamed, because the missing 3 weeks weren't a gap in her memory. They were a window of criminal collaboration. She and her ex covered up something involving another woman. Something that explains why he held power over her. Something that explains why she lied to Charlie. Something that explains why she panicked when the DNA test leaked. Something that explains why she whispered, "He promised me he'd disappear." Because disappearing meant staying silent. Not from heartbreak, but from fear of prosecution. The insider returned one final time tonight with a message that shut the entire internet down. The second voicemail isn't even the worst part. There is video, and once it drops, everything you think you know about Erika will collapse. Then, Part 7 will reveal the footage that proves what happened in the missing 3 weeks. And for the first time, the insider added a warning. Prepare yourself. The screen went black. If you made it to the end of this episode, then you already know we are standing on the edge of the biggest twist in this entire story. We're not talking about rumors anymore. We're not talking about speculation. We're not talking about internet theories stretching the truth. We are talking about documented evidence, leaked recordings, missing timelines, sealed exhibits, and a chain of lies so heavy that even the people closest to Erika are backing away from her one by one. And if the insider is telling the truth, the story isn't just spiraling, it's detonating. So right now, before anything else drops, I need you in this conversation. Tell me in the comments, do you believe Erika is the victim of a manipulative ex who trapped her with a secret she couldn't escape? Or is she the architect of her own downfall? Someone who built an entire life on a foundation of deception, lies, and a cover-up she thought would never catch up to her. And what about those missing 3 weeks? Do you think Erika and her ex were covering up something bigger than paternity? Something darker? Something involving the woman who disappeared? Do you think the second voicemail was only scratching the surface? Or do you think the video footage the insider mentioned is going to expose a truth so corrosive that even Erika's remaining supporters will abandon her? I want to know exactly what you think happened. Drop your theory. Drop your suspicion. Drop your prediction for the video. Because every single comment helps push this story deeper into the algorithm. And believe me, you're going to want the entire world talking about this before the next drop hits. And listen, if you think this is over, it's not even close. We still have the footage. We still have the missing witness. We still have the timeline gap. We still have the sealed exhibits. We still have the truth about what Erika and her ex pulled off. And according to the insider, the next leak is the one that will tear the internet in half. So hit that like button if you want Part 7 to drop immediately when the footage leaks. Turn on notifications because the insider said the next reveal won't come with a warning. Subscribe, because we are about to enter the part of this story where nothing is safe, no one is innocent, and every lie has a consequence that cannot be undone. And before you go, answer this one last question. The question everyone is terrified to say out loud. When the video drops, do you think Erika will survive the fallout? Let me know, and stay locked in, because the truth is coming, and the next chapter will change everything you think you know.